Hip hop, the Renaissance. Hip hop, let's do it now. Yeah. Yo, they don't.
Salute, family. Love and light. Supanova Slom, unified hood, heal the hood. I'm here with two of my comrades, my close comrades, my big homies. You know what I'm saying? Jungle Rock Jr., aka OG, Chip Fool. You know what I'm saying? The big homie, the OG, NYOIL. You know what I'm saying? We here. And what I wanted to do to the YouTube family was just address, you know, how we felt about what's been transpiring lately, you know what I'm saying, with the election and so forth, Obama winning. And I just really want to speak honestly and candidly, you know how I felt. Now, we know I got a lot of family out there that, you know a lot of conspiracy theories. It's really not that kind of bill right now. I don't really want to get into that. We know how the system's structured and set up, but I just really want to talk from a spiritual place of how I felt, from a humanitarian place how I felt. You know what I mean? And for those that want to build on other levels, you know, I'm open to that. It's all to the G. But this is really for those that share, you know, that share this, and we want to keep this energy going forward. So I just want to open the bill by saying, for the first time being in this country, you know, they market America as being a place of multiculturalism, all kind of cultures, all types of races, the only place in the world where everybody can come together and be diverse and get along. Right. But my whole life, I never really experienced that. Everybody was always segmented in their different ciphers. And the other night, the night on election night, the 4th, I was in Harlem, came down 125th, and I just seen thousands of people. And I didn't know what was going on. So I walked to the place, we told me, the Adam Clayton Power building. It was a big screen out there. It was all types of people, blacks, whites, Asians, the Hispanic brothers and sisters, all walks of life. It was everybody you could aesthetically think was out there, were out there, very social with each other. And, you know, it wasn't a Mets game or a Giants game. It wasn't the ball dropping. You know what I'm saying? People were just out there with so much love. And even the pigs, the cops, they weren't really stressing nobody. It was just really, for the first time, being cordial. It was like I was in the Wizard of Oz or something like that. That's how I felt, because nobody had no negative energy on them. Complete strangers. And I just want to tell y'all, like, I felt like Barack, they had to talk about Barack on television, but in between that, people were just building and opening up with each other. And I felt like this real, you know, intense love energy come up out of me, man. Like I never really felt collectively. And let's don't look for Barack coming into office within the first 3 to 6 months thinking he's going to address everybody's issues, because he's not. You know what I'm saying? But what the power is in the people. And the love is in the people.
A lot of people need to also understand that when Barack gets into office, there's a lot of garbage that he has to clean up. You know, some prior garbage first before he could even deal with the matters at hand. You know, everything that the whole Bush administration, you know, that whole blueprint that they had laid or whatever when Bush was in office, that slate has to be wiped clean first. And there's a lot of things that came to my attention that as soon as this whole election started, you know, when we got into the whole election situation, like the day before the election, the price of gas dropped drastically. So to me, it's just like if the powers that be knew that they were able to do this, why didn't they do it at a particular time? So it just lets me know that, yeah, when it comes down to certain things, the government per se or the people in power do have the power to help the people. Right. But as a people, we can't look at the situation or look at ourselves as being weak, because at the end of the day, you know, they say that you know, everything lies in the hands of the people. For the first time, when I looked at the whole election with Barack, once he came out and he did his acceptance speech and everything, it was cool. But when they spoke about his family in Africa, and they prayed for 18 hours before he got elected, and they danced in the streets together. Wow. And when they showed the clippings of them jumping and doing the walk and the jumping joint, and I'm sitting at home like, yo, that's power. That's power, yeah. And there's certain flicks when before Barack does his speeches, that everybody gathers around him and puts their hand on him and they pray for him, like, yo, you know, when you walk out there, we hope this and that and the other. And you know, we hope that, you know. Yeah, you see that picture where it's just nothing but brothers, just touching him, right? All of them just around touching him, exactly. I'm like, yo, it's heavy, kid. Wow. Another thing that didn't move me, you know, excuse me for saying this, is I noticed in the crowd, like when Barack said his speech, You look down in the front, you saw Oprah Winfrey crying. I understand why you're crying, but why'd you say what you said?
Well, you know, without belaboring that point, because I really like to not vibe on that, because it diminishes the value of what happened. Let me say that, let's not forget, we can't be a people that's so quick to throw one another under the bus. And let me just say that. Let me just catch this bell real quick, which is to say this, Paul. We do it in a lot of ways. New style of rap come out, we throw everybody under the bus that like as if they're not relevant or they're not doing what they do anymore. And then if you say something that you are you MC at a level that's transcendent. Now, question, you know how I feel about shit MCing. And so you decide that you're going to criticize something that's going on because you see something amiss. You don't agree. And you say, I don't agree, even though you may support the younger brothers' endeavors to make it. You don't agree in that particular capacity, and you exercise your right as an elder, as someone that's bona fide and certified. Say what it is that you got to say about the thing. And you may be off point. Your method may be off point. You might have got caught slipping. You talking private talk, you talking, this is not, I wouldn't, like for example, when you, if I tape your phone call, it's inadmissible in court unless I let you know that I'm taping your phone call. Reason being because there's things that you generally might not say if you knew that, oh, this is up for public scrutiny. I'm not going to phrase certain things a certain way. You know what I mean? But since I know that this is up for public scrutiny, not since I didn't know, I'm talking, how we talking. I'm gonna cut his nuts off, man. And the thing about what we forget about Jesse Jackson in this situation, and let us not forget this as we get caught in Obama mania, is that when he said what he said, he's speaking up for black people. You hear this faith-based initiative he's talking about, he's talking down to black people. This is right after he had made, you understand, this is right after he had made the Father's Day speech. Now, as a father, I was personally offended because I'm a father to try harder. You dig? You know what I mean? So here it is. When I heard that speech, I was like, yo, Paul, look, man, you want to have that kind of speech about fathers ain't doing their job? Do that on Mother's Day, Paul. On Father's Day, do the Father's Day speech. We ain't getting but one day out here. So I took umbrage to that. I understood where Jesse Jackson was coming from. I was like, yo, Brock, shut up, Paul. I don't want to hear that, Paul. If you ain't got nothing positive to say, I know you can't say nothing good to us because they're going to think that you're just for us. So cool. And don't say nothing at all to us, B. Don't show them that you're going to be hard on us because I don't want to hear that, Paul. We got enough hard on us. So when he said what he had to say, I was like, yo, Jesse, bet you on that, my G. I understand where you're coming from. However, the fact that you got caught slipping is the problem. It's not that you was slipping because he wasn't saying nothing that wasn't 100. It's that he got caught slipping. But it's like you don't know no better than that, Jess.
But understand this. Being who you are, right, and always being in the public eye and knowing everything about the CIA and how they work, the inner workings of that whole situation, you're not going to slip.
He know better.
Nah, no, you don't.
You're not going to slip.
There's no such thing as that, Paul. There's no such thing as that. There's no such thing. No one knows that better, Paul. That's asking for perfection.
He came from that climate, and why he comes from the heart of that climate.
Martin Luther King knew what that climate was. That don't mean he wasn't messing with them white hookers. You understand what I'm saying? It don't mean they ain't had them on tape, Paul. I mean, everybody get, your vice is your vice. You get caught slipping. That's why it's called slipping. It ain't, you jumped on the ground and fell. You was caught slipping.
Hip hop, the Renaissance. Hip hop, let's do it down.